One of the most common practices among men is masturbation. I've heard you say at times that masturbation is actually related to this whole issue of premature ejaculation, but I want to know, is it bad for you? Is it good for you? What's the deal with masturbation, honey?
Masturbation is only bad if you do it the wrong way. That's basically it, right? So if a guy doesn't have sex regularly and he doesn't masturbate, that's bad for his sexual response because his penis won't get the blood flow. It won't get the stimulation the body needs to function properly. On the other hand, if he masturbates 5, 6, 7 times a day, that's also going to be a problem. So for example, if you do it consciously, paying attention, without the goal of reaching a certain outcome, it's beneficial. It will increase testosterone production. It will stimulate blood flow to the penis, which is very important, right? We know, for example, that with diabetes, one of the problems is erectile dysfunction. Many men even report, my penis is getting smaller. Is that possible? It gets smaller because it's an organ that's not getting enough blood flow, right? So it's about frequent blood flow. So erections are important for men, okay? So I'm not against masturbation, but do it consciously. And another thing, if you have a steady partner, save that energy to have fun with her. It will improve your energy. Oh, she's traveling, go ahead, but do it consciously. First point, do it with respect for your body. Don't keep doing it. Be careful with overstimulation, okay? Sometimes a guy opens 15 tabs, super intense, super fast, overstimulating. Take it easy. Just one stimulus, but very intense. So really you can go slower, respecting your body, really savoring the moment, as if it were even a sacred moment. Masturbation can be sacred, self-touch, pleasure. This repression that we have, oh, sex is dirty, sex is a sin. It's all about how you see it. If you see it as your sacred moment of connection, if your partner is traveling, for example, you can masturbate thinking about her, right? Stimulating that mental eroticism. That's also really positive. It's all about moderation. Too much of anything is bad. Even too much water can be harmful, right? So awareness, a state of presence. Be careful with overstimulation. Be careful not to train your body for premature ejaculation. Be mindful of the energy you connect with, right? Sometimes there's a heavy video on the internet, For example, when we're in a state of arousal, we're in an altered state of consciousness, right? You can even notice that your eyes look a bit droopy. It's exactly like when we're meditating or just waking up with that droopy-eyed look. That's the first sign that you're really in a more altered state of consciousness. And then, for example, you watch a really intense adult video, there's a lot of bizarre stuff in it. You can actually open yourself up to an energy that's not healthy, okay? Not many people talk about this, but it does happen.
So you don't absorb anything from the outside. And I think it's really cool how you always make this connection between taking care of the body and taking care of the mind, and how the mind gives commands to the body and the body also gives commands to the mind, right? So I want to ask you about another issue, which I think really involves the psychological side for men, which is when erectile dysfunction is psychological. So how does that work?
This pressure men feel to perform, it's terrible, isn't it? Many times a guy might not perform once. That can create such a huge trauma that he becomes insecure in future encounters. It's like if I went out on the street, tripped once, and after that fall, I became afraid to go out again, afraid of tripping again. That's basically what it is. The guy is healthy, everything's fine. But he couldn't perform. He doesn't allow himself to fail even once. And sometimes it wasn't even entirely his fault. Sometimes he went out with a partner he didn't know. There was no intimacy, no chemistry. He tried to force it because he wanted to be the tough guy, the macho man, but he couldn't perform. The shame is overwhelming and sometimes it becomes awkward. The woman thinks it's her fault. The man doesn't know where to hide his face. It really turns into a traumatic situation, and that creates insecurity. It installs a kind of mental block. And then, could there be something wrong with me? Is my testosterone level okay? What's happening to me? And this starts to build up, leading to psychological erectile dysfunction, and it really gets in the way because we get caught in that cycle, right? The cycle of insecurity. Then you get anxious. Your body releases adrenaline and cortisol into your bloodstream. The blood goes to the body's defense areas, right? For fight or flight. So it goes to your legs, to your heart, and that's it. It's over. The erection is gone. So sex is about relaxation. Sex is parasympathetic, right? Is the parasympathetic system. So you need to relax. Lost your erection once, man? It's all good. You can even get a tantric massage, for example. You can talk, enjoy the moment, give your partner a massage, give amazing oral. If a guy loses his erection, he can give his partner oral, make her reach orgasm with oral, and you'll see your partner climaxing from good oral. Sometimes you'll get so relaxed that your erection will come back and you'll be able to finish. So that's another thing. Another tip I also give my students. 2 thoughts can't occupy the same mind. An exercise I like to give my students, for example, is this mental arousal I mentioned. Going to masturbate? Try masturbating without any external stimulation, just using your mind. And then notice which thoughts turn you on the most and make a mental note of them. Man, I get turned on imagining breasts. I get turned on imagining butts. I get turned on imagining her being really naughty. So you go, okay, I like this, 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 and this. You actually create a mental checklist, right? Keep that checklist of your mental arousal. What turns you on in your relationship with your partner? Did you start having sabotaging thoughts? Take the checklist out of your pocket and say, I like this. This turns me on. These thoughts turn me on. There you go. Two thoughts can't occupy the same mind. Start bringing this mental arousal into your relationship so you don't give space to those sabotaging thoughts. And of course, breathing well, really oxygenating your body is always, always important, okay? So the tip I give to all my students, breathe well. Breathe because that will relieve the tension, take off the pressure. You don't have to get anywhere. This is your moment to enjoy. If you're married, it's your partner. Take a breath, both of you. Honor your partner. That's really cool, okay? But this part about honoring someone, claiming your space, recognizing the divine in your partner, honoring her, cleansing the energetic field, often shielding the energetic field of the bedroom, right? We know that many times nowadays with social media, the couple posts a very happy photo. Is everyone who saw your photo a happy couple really rooting for you too? Isn't it possible that some envious energy could come your way? Isn't it possible that some kind of negative energy could come through and the couple is there, open and receptive? Then suddenly they start fighting out of nowhere, things stop working out, it can happen, guys. The invisible will act in your life, whether you want it or not. So many men think that having a good erection is just about one thing, just one issue. But in reality, it's actually a series of factors, right? Weight training, diet, good quality sleep, anxiety control. Of course, testosterone is important. And again, nothing replaces medical supervision. So you need to have your tests up to date, regular checkups, everything in order. But this part also counts. For example, sometimes a guy he lost an important family member, respect the grieving process. Sometimes the guy is sad, he's worried about work. Man, sometimes you just want to chill and sometimes you don't want sex. Sometimes you just want affection. If you're devastated, lost your mother, lost your uncle, lost someone. Man, respect that. Respect it, respect it. Because that's also very common, right? Men sometimes want to relieve the stress of daily life by ejaculating, right? And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Take it easy. So this self-observation, this self-knowledge, which we always emphasize, men need to know themselves, right? If it happens once, if you lose your erection once, it's okay. Just move on. Is your testosterone okay? Breathe properly. Another technique, another golden tip I like to share with my students. You know you're going to have sex? Stop masturbating 3 days before. Stop masturbating, especially for the single guys out there. You know you're going to meet up with that girl on the weekend, on Saturday. If you masturbate, only do it until Wednesday. Leave Thursday, Friday, and all of Saturday for you to recover that vitality. If the guy keeps masturbating, the more you empty, literally in every sense of the word, your balls, the higher the chance you'll have performance issues, right? The psychological part matters a lot, but the energetic part also counts. Weight training, when you stimulate it, strength training will increase your testosterone in the long run, right? You'll get a spike right then, but it will also stimulate your entire hormonal, mental, and communication systems in the long term.
It seems like there are exercises to reverse premature ejaculation that are already scientifically proven, and you teach a method for people to include this in a healthy routine. Is that right?
Exactly. Men are often embarrassed to seek help from a health clinic. Often, in-person treatment at a clinic is very expensive. 2,000-3,000 reais at a reputable clinic. So, what did I do? All the exercises, the entire framework of scientifically backed reversal exercises, I recorded as if it were a course, like several consultations, where he watches and practices with full support. So, the method is actually called the APM method, the high male performance method, where he keeps training. He watches the lesson and trains, watches and trains. The body needs at least 21 days to form a new habit. Science says it takes between 21 and 60 days to form a new habit. Because there's something interesting, Jane, which is the point of ejaculatory inevitability. What is that? It's the point of no return. It's a limit where once you pass it, no man in the world can control ejaculation. So what is the big secret to ejaculatory control? Is the guy noticing when he's getting close to that limit? And when he's getting close to that limit, he pulls the handbrake. Calm down. Breathe. Relax. Control yourself. Use the muscles there to lower that level of arousal. So in the training, basically, we teach two pedals. One to accelerate when I want to increase the level of arousal, and one to brake when that level of arousal is already too high. So it's just like a car pedal where you accelerate and brake there. So after a lot of practice, this ends up becoming automatic. like driving, like riding a bike, like anything. There comes a point when it becomes automatic. But we need to look inward and train this perception, train yourself. Oh, my arousal, I can feel my arousal rising now. Now I can bring it down. And then he plays along with his partner. He looks at his partner and then he says, she's really aroused. She's about to have an orgasm. So now I'm allowed to go along with her. And then that's the best of both worlds, right? That's when the bells ring, the angels say, Amen. And that's really something special, right? When both reach that point together. So it's practice, really. There's nothing out of this world about it. It's easy. It's enjoyable to do. It seems complicated, but it's actually enjoyable to do. We teach arousal and orgasm control. It's not going to be a boring practice, but it needs to be done so that you get to know your body, so you look inward, master the techniques, and gain full control over your muscles. You'll even learn how to have stronger erections. Because what happens? Untreated premature ejaculation often develops into a dysfunction problem. Before even starting sex, the guy already knows about the premature ejaculation. And so he already goes in anxious, already goes in nervous. Next thing you know, he's having trouble getting an erection. For the erection to happen, he needs to be relaxed. He needs to activate the parasympathetic system to achieve that relaxation. And if he's nervous, he's in fight or flight mode. That's it. The blood goes to the parts of the body used for escaping. So the legs, that's the vital part here for you to react, defend yourself, run away, and do whatever you need to do to protect yourself, not for the penis. That's why it's so common. A guy who doesn't treat premature ejaculation can end up with erectile dysfunction. This is actually quite common. So no one teaches men how to have better relationships. We learn by experience, and often we learn from adult videos. And adult videos often teach violence. They teach speed. Speed, a super performance. Then the guy watches an adult video and thinks, oh, but my dick isn't as big as the guy's dick. Then he starts idealizing the woman, the way she's treated, the way things are supposed to be. But is what the guy sees in an adult film really what's going to happen in real life? Do women really want to be treated that way? A woman of value will hardly ever want to be treated like that. It works for all men, regardless of age, because that's how it is. The body learns through repetition. We train the body. It's like a gym for your sexual response. So training, and it's cool because as you start doing the exercises, in the first few days, if you put the anxiety control techniques into practice, you already notice an improvement because it's literally like a natural tadala. We even have a class, both with a physical therapist and a class about foods that stimulate erections. So really, it's a complete training program for true high performance. It's everything a guy needs. There are several techniques from Tantra to physical therapy. So really, it's for him to equip himself with scientific techniques to upgrade his relationship.
Wonderful. And to open this portal of self-discovery and self-knowledge of your own body, your own being. Diego, I want to understand how people can access this course and also how they can reach you through the course. There are these posts for interaction with you. How will people engage with this content?
Absolutely. Just because it's online doesn't mean people will be left without support, right? So they'll have access to all the techniques, and whenever they have questions, they can reach out on WhatsApp or ask their questions directly in the course, okay? Just because it's online doesn't mean there won't be support. There is support and clarification for any questions. The course is hosted on the Hotmatic platform, which is an international course platform, so there's a full guarantee. You have a 7-day money-back guarantee. Does it work for everyone? It works for those who do the exercises. It's just like going to the gym. And if someone asks, how can I be sure it will work for me? It's the same question you could ask at a gym. Will it work for me? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do the exercises? If you do the exercises, it will work. If you're willing to put in the effort to master your body and mind, you'll get results, right? But our training is much more enjoyable, much simpler, and it doesn't involve the kind of muscle fatigue that strength training requires, right? So yes, it works for everyone. There's support, and you can watch it in the privacy of your own home. That's a really important point. Total, absolute confidentiality. Privacy is something men don't like to expose. So the support is directly with us. He watches it in his free time, you know? When he's alone, in his own moment, he watches and trains until he masters his body, until his body understands this new pattern. Once the body understands this new pattern, it becomes automatic.
Wow. True freedom, right?
There's even a gift for you. We're going to give you a gift. If you're watching this podcast with Janine, you'll get 10% off, okay? Just use the link in the description and the coupon is YouTube, all right? I'm giving a gift here to the channel's followers. Just type the word YouTube on the payment page and you'll get 10% off. Wonderful, what a lovely gift. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you, right? There are already 10,000 followers on the Sacred Sexuality channel, so that's great. Thank you so much, and welcome to those who are just joining us now, who are already getting an amazing gift.